Who would have thought that LeBron might actually miss the All-Star game this year? This would be the first time in 20 years that his streak of All-Star starts has been snapped. And somehow Luka Doncic has come out of nowhere to leapfrog LeBron, taking over as the top vote-getter in the league. Is this just a case of LeBron losing a step this season, or is the league pulling strings behind the scenes? In this video, we are going to dive deep into what is really going on. Looking at the latest All-Star voting returns, it is pretty easy to see the shift. Luka, who used to be a bit more low-key, has completely taken off this season and climbed to the top of the mountain. Meanwhile, LeBron is sitting behind Portland forward Deni Avdija, dropping all the way down to 8th place. It actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because current Laker fans seem more hyped to vote for Luka than the King. Honestly, this feels like exactly what happened to MJ in his final years. Back in the 2003 All-Star voting, Jordan actually failed to get voted in as a starter by the fans. But back then, a young Vince Carter decided to give up his starting spot just to pay respect to the greatest of all time. But looking at the current voting trends for LeBron, besides potentially coming off the bench, there is a real chance he misses the cut entirely. Some fans might try to argue against this, pointing out that LeBron has been battling some sciatica issues, which caused him to miss a chunk of games, suggesting that Laker Nation is just moving on because of health. But that logic doesn't really hold up. If you look back at past All-Star history, it is pretty obvious that a superstar's star power usually has nothing to do with their injury status. Just look at KD in 2021. He joined the Nets and sat out an entire year. But that didn't stop the fans from making him the top vote-getter in the Eastern Conference. What is even more shocking to the fans, though, is Luka becoming the face of the league for the first time. We are talking about 700,000 Laker fans choosing Luka, while essentially hanging LeBron out to dry. It is no exaggeration to say that Luka has officially taken the keys to every part of the Lakers franchise. Because beyond just these all-star voting results, that media spotlight that LeBron used to own has now shifted entirely to Doncic. And as this regular season grinds on, the signs that LeBron is leaving next season are getting louder and louder. First, you look at the Lakers dropping games to defensive powerhouses like the Suns and Spurs, and even when they face the bottom dwellers of the league, they are struggling to close it out until the final buzzer. All of this points to one simple truth: the current Lakers squad is nowhere near the level of contenders like the Thunder or the Nuggets. Plus, some of Luka's old bad habits are starting to creep back in too, like that lack of defensive transition that fans hate, and the constant complaining to the refs for calls. Even a legend like Reggie Miller went on air to specifically call out Luka for his lazy defensive effort. When asked about these issues, LeBron didn't come out and blast him directly after the game. Instead, he just kept the talk focused on the team turnovers. But anybody with eyes could see that those comments were aimed squarely at Luka. Because aside from the defensive lapses we mentioned, Luka ball security has been pretty sloppy this season. And the truth is, Luka's style of play just doesn't mesh with LeBron on the floor. The numbers back this up 100%. For example, the best lineup for Doncic right now is when he is on the court with Austin Reeves. They are outscoring opponents by 6.7 points per 100 possessions. But the worst pairing on the team is Luka and LeBron, getting outscored by 7.8 points per 100 possessions. So from the very start of the offseason, LeBron probably saw the writing on the wall for his future. When the Lakers moved Anthony Davis to bring in Luka Doncic, the media was throwing flowers at the front office, praising Rob Pelinka for his incredible vision. But LeBron was the only one feeling uneasy about it, because he knows exactly what kind of player Luka is. An elite guard who doesn't like to defend and needs the ball in his hand. There's constantly. Then when the Lakers offseason rolled around, they flat out refused to talk extension with LeBron, which reportedly left him absolutely furious, leading to some real friction between him and the front office. He realizes that the future belongs to Luka now, and he is becoming the odd man out in LA. And the cold, hard reality is even tougher. LeBron is making $52.6 million this season, eating up 34% of the entire salary cap. If the Lakers really want to chase a ring this year, this cap situation is a total mess. Because that one LeBron contract alone is blocking the team from making any real upgrades to the roster. And we have seen Luka prove himself back in Dallas. He can carry a team when it is built right. Even former GM Nico Harrison knew this. Look at how he moved, using Kyrie to fill the void left by Brunson. Then after 1 year of tanking, he drafted Derek Lively, who fits Luka like a glove, signing Derrick Jones Jr. on a vet min, and pulling off low-cost trades for guys like Gafford and PJ Washington. That team completely transformed in just 1 year. punching their ticket to the NBA Finals. So now that Luka is in the City of Angels, the Laker front office knows exactly what they need to do. But why haven't they pulled the trigger on any trades yet? It comes down to some major internal and external factors. The outside factor is that next season is loaded with free and just like Andrew Wiggins, who has been in the Laker trade rumors forever. Wiggins is likely to opt out and become a free agent after this season, meaning Pelinka wouldn't have to give up a single asset to land that perfect championship piece. Besides guys like Wiggins hitting the market, next year's draft is going to be massive for 3D wings, and the Lakers are actually holding on to their first-round pick. They could easily pull a Dallas and tank for a year to snag a high-potential young wing to pair up perfectly with Luka. Those are all the external factors. But the real internal reason is waiting for LeBron Max's contract to expire this summer. At that point, the team will clear nearly $60 million in cap space. Plus, they can use their 3 available first-round picks to make a splash. So no matter how you look at it, this season feels like a bridge to the future for the Lakers. But this entire plan depends on one thing. LeBron has to choose to move on next season. This explains exactly why the Lakers didn't offer him that extension this summer, because in the eyes of the front office, LeBron is starting to look more like a roadblock than a leader. And for LeBron, this has to be a bitter pill to swallow, going from the undisputed king of Los Angeles to the biggest hurdle in the team development. So as we wrap this up, do you think the king is going to take the hint and find a new home next season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.